Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order as best I know how. We are on book number 14, The Dangerous Rescue. And in this adventure, basically picks up exactly where we left off. Qui-Gon is going off to rescue this rogue Jedi. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan is running to go get help. But Master Tal says, help is on the way. Here comes Master Adi and Siri, from a earlier adventure. And so they get there. Of course, we're told they're in close proximity to the secret lab, so they make it there in time. Meanwhile, Qui-Gon's trying to figure out who the Jedi Master is, but the riddle that Jin Abor gives Qui-Gon at the end, it's someone that you've never met, but you know. And it's almost like, I think, according to this book, Qui-Gon did know him, but maybe they've never met? I don't know. It's a Jedi who went off to be a hermit, but as he was kind of living by himself, he made a toy for one kid, and then that kid brought a friend, so he made a toy for that kid. Now he makes toys for kids. So he wanted to meditate and be alone, but now he's in the public more than ever. Okay, I get it. Seems like a nice, kind, gentle Jedi Master. Not much is done with him, though, because soon after, Obi-Wan, Siri, and Master Adi break into Jin Abor's laboratory. She escapes on the rooftop in an airship with the Jedi Master in tow, and they get away. Now, the bounty hunter is no longer friends with Jenna. She's taken her money, and she's going off on another job, and they have to part ways. And that's what we're told. But later on, she's working with her again. I guess because Jenna offered her more money. But that wasn't the point, because the whole thing was, she was like, no, I'm done working for you. I got another job. Just give me money or I'll leave, or I'll kill you if you don't give me money. To later on, and they just say, they just chalk it up to greed. I don't know. Maybe Jude Watson at first was like, yeah, I just need to get rid of the bounty hunter. And then thought, no, I need to give the bounty hunter an ending, so I'll bring her back. Because, of course, she's going to fall to her death as Ki-Adi-Mundi. There's a big battle, and Ki-Adi-Mundi is going to slice through her lightsaber whip, which hadn't been done before, but she kind of falls into the darkness. So I'm assuming, we're all assuming she's dead. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so let me back up a little bit. Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon are trying to track down, where Jin Abor is now. They go to this planet that there's this fungus every 7 years, but now it's gotten out of hand, and it's really impacted the aliens on the planet, and they're dying because of it, because they can't control it. And they know that Jin Abor, this is her thing. She introduces a disease, into the ecosystem, and then as it causes, havoc, she then charges for the cure. In fact, some of her scientists are there trying to work on a cure. Now, the ex-senator, the one from the books who had to retire early, who was friends with Jin Abor, man, they give her like a million different turns to where she's almost like 360 again. When we first meet her, she's just someone who just wanted to retire early, and that was it. And we thought she was a dead end, and where the pirates were supposed to be the real lead for Obi-Wan. Then later on, we find out that Jin Abor killed her son, who was force sensitive. And she's upset about that. But yes, her son died. That's why she was retiring. And she didn't know that Jenna had anything to do with it, but she didn't know that. But then later on, they go and say, hey, we think Jin Abor is on this planet, and she's going to try to contact you. And the senator's like, hey, look, I just need to be left alone by Jedi. Later on, I think Obi-Wan finds out that, wait a minute, you were the one that stopped the investigation into your son's death. She went, I just didn't want to know. I wanted to let it lie in peace. Okay. Why? Did Jenna tell you to? No, it turns out that she and Jenna were in cahoots the whole time. Jenna wanted to make money. She wanted to make money. So she did things in the Senate and then retired to go make a lot of money with Jenna Abor. Wouldn't she have served her better in the Senate? That whole storyline is a little faulty. There's a few little plot holes in there. I think Jude Watson was thinking, hey, you know what? This senator, I didn't do much with her. I should bring her back for something. Well, no, that's not what I want to do with her. Oh, wait, I'll bring her and say they were together this whole time. After she knew that Jin Abor killed her son? Because she knows that. But greed was more important than her son. Really? She's that evil? It just didn't make sense. Another thing that didn't make sense with this book was there's a character in the previous book, some kind of street thief. I think I mentioned him in the last book. He died. And it turns out, no, he wasn't dead. That was just someone else's body. You know how they don't run fingerprints or scans on a street urchin or whatnot. And he was alive the whole time. Why is he alive? So he can hand Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon a data pad they need to make the whole connection. And then he disappears. It's almost like Jude Watson was writing the book and went, oh no, I was supposed to give the data Fi, whatever his name is, was supposed to give the data pad to him. Oh, I'll bring him back to life. And then he explains everything. Well, then how did you know to make yourself look like you died at the hands of Jyn Zandor? Did you know about her experiments going on? Yes, I did. Really? How? And it feels shoehorned in. It feels like Jude Watson really did forget to do that plot point in the previous book before she killed him off and went, yikes, because he only comes in for those few pages, hands him the data pad, and then disappears. Just kind of walks out of the storyline. So it's a little bit of a sloppy ending, which I did not expect. It's not a bad ending. Again, I like that Qui-Gon is contemplating on something that Obi-Wan did. He disobeyed an order, but he got the job done anyway. And Master Adi says, oh, you're just upset by him. I mean, y'all do seem different on paper, but y'all are more alike than you think. And Qui-Gon knows that's it. He knows that Obi-Wan kind of leads with his heart, with his feelings sometimes, takes action before thinking, and that's a mistake that Qui-Gon makes, And so he doesn't want Obi-Wan to inherit his mistakes because he knows Obi-Wan can be so much better than him. It's basically how every parent feels about their kid, right? I want you to be better than me. I want you to be smarter than me. You always talk about how your kid's so much smarter than you, how much better they are at things than you were as a kid. You want them to be better. He wants Obi-Wan to be better. He doesn't want Obi-Wan to take his own faults with him. So their whole relationship and Qui-Gon's respect for Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan's respect for Qui-Gon really kind of jails, because there's a scene where Obi-Wan grows up. He's fighting the bounty hunter, and then he realizes this is a distraction. I don't need to find a way to beat her. I just need to escape her and move on. And so he basically runs away from her, escapes from her. Ciri thinks he's a coward, but then later on realizes, no, Obi-Wan just didn't want to waste his time. She was very talented and he knew better. He said, this is a waste of my time. I probably won't win. She's a little bit better. I can't handle her myself, so I'll split. Ciri at the end tries to take on the bounty hunter at the end and is getting a little overpowered. So Obi-Wan helps out. Her master Adi comes in and helps out too. So Ciri kind of learns a little bit of a lesson as well and all this. And by the way, the ending, it just kind of ended like just in a few pages. Jyn Zandor gets captured very quickly by Qui-Gon, and then the bounty hunter dies like 2 pages later. It's like, whoa, all that kind of wrapped up really quick. Yeah, because they only had 3 pages left to do the wrap-up ending, which was good. Because they're talking about all their lessons learned. Ciri learned something from Obi-Wan. Master Adi learned something from Qui-Gon, but Qui-Gon learned something from her. I mean, everyone got to learn, and it was a nice growing moment. So there's good, and then there's bad to this one. It was a little bit sloppy, like it wasn't completely thought out by Jude Watson. I don't remember reading it that way the first time I read it. But looking at the ending of this one and seeing kind of how choppy things were with the senator story and that's the street thief that just comes back alive just to hand him a data pad and then really just exits the story after that. You can tell she obviously forgot to put that plot point in and had to explain and trying to explain why, he set himself up to die in a specific way that would incriminate Jyn Zandor, the person he's trying to avoid the whole time. That it doesn't make sense when you boil it down. So this one, not as good. The whole plot point storyline, I did love it at first, but it ended really kind of rocky. Although, I will admit, there are some really good scenes in here with both Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan that do make it worth it. All right, what about the next one? I'll talk about it later.